I'm Doug Brown. Bengals running back Joe Mixon is found not guilty of aggravated menacing from a road rage incident back in January. A county judge in Ohio says the city of Cincinnati did not meet its burden to prove the case. Dolphins offensive lineman Teron Armstead carted off the practice field today with a right leg injury. He'll have further tests on that leg. Expectations are running somewhat high for the Bears this season. ESPN's Booger McFarland would like to pump the brakes for now.
We look at Justin Fields and we automatically pencil him in as a QB that's going to make a huge jump. I hope he does, but I haven't seen anything that's going to let me know he's going to do that.
Booger McFarland, the former coach of the U.S. women's soccer team, Jill Ellis, says gender should not be a deciding factor in the selection of a new coach. She also says the search for a coach should be diverse. Ellis led the team to World Cup titles in 2015 and 2019. U.S. Soccer confirms today Coach Vlatko Andonovski is stepping down.
Long summer days call for extra hands. Hire fast with Indeed. Their hiring solution helps attract, interview, and hire candidates. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of quality candidates whose resumes match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and the Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. You can get in on all the fun, and especially for days like today. Today's a big day because it's Thursday. And if you're new to the program, you may not know that during the football season, Thursdays usually end up being Threadbare Thursdays. Not because there's anything going on, but because this is our moment for you to get in on the conversation, to get in on producing the show. Because we go through and we talk about the things that we want to talk about. We want to talk about the things you want to talk about. So this is your chance to throw out your topic, your questions. Doesn't matter if it's about preseason action or prognostications for the upcoming NFL season, whatever it may be. Throw that in the chat, and we will get to it on today's program. It is, of course, we are all just getting ready for the NFL season. Had a wonderful lunch over with our football home partners, the Village Porch. Met over there with George today, firmed up all the details and such.
You will be able to spend all of your football Sundays with us at 51 North Merriman Avenue at Village Porch.
That's right. We'll be doing the daily fantasy show on Sundays from the Village Porch from 10 until noon. Then we'll be hanging out for all of the games as well. So 51 North Merriman Avenue, that is your home for football this season, along with us here at the Sportsocracy. So how about your Jets, man? Everybody's just taking aim at your team.
I'm so tired of hearing about our offensive line. Oh, well, if Aaron Rodgers has to play behind the third stringers, he's in trouble. Well, fortunately, he's not. He's not gonna do it.
He's not gonna have to.
I reached out to. There's a little rumor that David Bakhtiari is somebody that they could be targeting. I reached out to one of my little birdies, and the exact phrase that I got back was, "We already have a 38-year-old tackle. I don't particularly need another one." So, think we're fine. Fine.
Yeah. It's one of those things to who do you believe? You always play this game, who wants you to know? Well, who do you believe? Do you believe?
Never the media, ever. I never believe that.
But, do you believe Aaron when he says he's not worried about it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why, because I'm not worried about it.
The attitude from the coaches that we're seeing it would appear. I mean, I saw the last episode of Hard Knocks where Rob Salah had his profanity laced. We have to get this together.
Robert Saleh says that F word as often as I do, and I love that.
But the point, the message was the offensive line is where this starts, and you guys have to step up because you're just not good enough right now. And so, is that just a message to the backups that were playing at the time, or is that a message to all of them of even when we're healthy? I don't. Y'all got to be better.
Oh, it's a message to all of them, but we're making a mountain out of a molehill. Oh, they weren't good in the joint practice. Cool. It was all backups. So there's a possibility that not one of those linemen that you saw yesterday in joint practices has one start for the Jets all year. So just, I hate to break out Aaron's line here. RELAX.
And he pretty much did the same. He did the same thing where he was just, I'm not worried about it, but I felt like there was a ... yet after that. I don't really know what we have here, and I wouldn't be shocked if Aaron felt a little uncomfortable with it. And
we're gonna tell you, Aaron's looking around right now, going, "Here's what nobody seems to want to talk about." Yeah, and I heard of all people, Eric Mangini had to be the voice of reason. Yeah, if they planned on dropping back and throwing it 50 times a game, this could be a problem. They don't. They have 3 real good running backs. They're going to be just fine. RELAX.
Look, this is what happens. That's what happens when you become a threat. We have to pick apart everything that could possibly go wrong. We're looking at fatal flaws of all of these teams, and if the Jets are going to be a contender, because we know they have the talent to be, the spotlight has to be on the weakest link. It always is.
It's fine. Look, I get it. This is not the most news-heavy day of the year. I mean, one of the big stories is we got Browns-Eagles in the preseason. Eep.
Real excited to see that.
I'm real excited to wager it. Over!
You've been good on the overs, right?
11-5.
It was 11-6.
11-6 total. Forgot the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, always take the over.
Actually, and I'm not sure that the Hall of Fame game didn't go over. It did. It did. Good for me. That's 12-5 to start the year.
Nice.
With overs.
Right. When you're at the top of the heap, everybody's going to focus on your biggest weakness. Everybody's going to try to find that weakness. Was it yesterday in our chat, Stephen Tao, when we were talking about when we were doing the daily draft and we were talking about the biggest questions, he brought up the Eagles linebackers. Is that a question for you?
It is.
Is it?
It was on my list. Just didn't make it because you kept taking things that weren't on my list. I mean, yeah, when you lose 2 of your 3 starters and now you're counting on a second-year linebacker that was so beaten up that he fell to the 3rd round, I mean, yeah, that gives but I mean, it's the only thing about the team I'm worried about.
Right.
And I feel like that's what we're doing now, is that we're so close. And all of these things are locked in place, and so we're just nitpicking all of these things. And you know why?
Because
I can tell you why. Because we don't want to talk about the NBA schedule release.
Are they really? Are they doing that already?
Oh, you didn't have my computer on. I sounded the alarm. But let me try that one more time. NBA schedule release.
Oh, no, you screwed it up that time.
No. There we go.
But see, this is my point. When you're this good, we have to, right? When your team is built this well, you have to focus on every little thing. Remember, we were doing this last year with Kansas City, right? Kansas City, we all love it, but the weapons. We're not sure that he can do it with just Juju Smith-Schuster and, a bag of peanuts. Now it turned out, who cares? As long as
does
it's
he have Travis Kelce?
Right.
Yes.
As long as it's Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid, it's going to be just fine. They're going to figure it out. And we're doing it. I mean, this is the world that we live in. Did you see this? Have you been following the Miles Jack story?
No.
So he's back in the NFL, in case
with the Eagles.
Some of you didn't know. He's with the Eagles. He was in Jacksonville, obviously, and he got cut. And then he goes to Pittsburgh last year, and he gets cut by them. Well, he was going to consider retiring, and then Buda Baker, they're good friends. He said, "You're not retiring. Get off the couch, stop playing Call of Duty, and get down here, and let's go to work. You come work with my trainer." And so the trainer works with him, and now the story is, go ahead, he's in the best shape of his life, right? It's the
everybody's always in the best shape of their life.
It's the old best shape in the life story, right? So he goes, he hits it hard. So now he's increased his vertical by 4 inches, and he's power lifting double what he was doing when he came in, and his body fat percentage went from 20 to 12. I mean, with a guy like that can fill a hole,
no doubt.
To me, we're picking nits, but in the end, these teams, these well-run organizations, they just find a way to make it all work. That's how I look at the New York Jets with their offensive line. They made a couple of moves to try to fill some holes. It's not the greatest in the world.
No.
But if it can be just good enough, then they're a threat.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I said about Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have to be MVP Aaron for this to be the best team in the AFC East. You know what he has to do? Not turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. Make 5 or 6 big chunk plays a week, and we're hunky-dunky. But it's more fun to talk about, well, this could not work because Jets go Jet. Stupid. So stupid.
I mean, but if you've been watching the practices and such, it doesn't look good. So it does raise those questions, right? The fact that we're going to get to see next week Aaron Rodgers get sacked 6 times in 10 plays against the Tampa Bay team. It's going to get worse, right? I'm trying to buckle you in for for the tsunami that's coming.
Because will be dumbfounded if Aaron Rodgers touches that field.
Oh, no. What I'm saying is when we see Hard Knocks next week, we're going to see that part of practice yesterday. Or, well, was it yesterday they canceled practice, or was that today?
Today.
So they've canceled practice for today. So yesterday.
There were so many fights that they went, we're not doing that again.
10 snaps. And Aaron Rodgers got sacked 6 times. That's not going to look good next week. So I'm just trying to prepare you for, what's coming.
I don't
This
care.
is going to be the storyline for every national show for the next week and a half. As we dare we doubt, the New York Jets, who seem to have it all figured out. And that's not a tongue-in-cheek statement, because I honestly do believe that they figured it out. I feel like this organization is now being ran in a way where they've got it figured out.
I agree with you.
Now, it could,
like I said, I was there for 3 days. I saw nothing that alarmed me. I saw the 2-minute drill that we overreacted to. Well, they went 3 and out in the 2-minute drill. Okay, did you watch the game? Because in the game, it looked like an NFL team playing against not an NFL team. So, which one do you think matters?
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Sammy Howe, apparently he's doing well in training camp today. Rob Johnson throwing him out.
You know who's not doing well? Your boy Brock Purdy. Interception carnival.
It's too early.
It's
just practice. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, 10 interceptions in 4 days. Man, that defense is either real good or he's real bad.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
That's weird. And I just saw a report from the Bay Area that said the best quarterback in 49ers camp, and quote, it's not close, is
Sam Darnold.
Samuel Darnold the fourth.
More from camp. We'll talk some Sam Howell. Plus, yes, we will. Let's see. We'll also get to the Atlanta predictions. George is asking in the YouTube comments for us to get to our Atlanta predictions for this year. So we will get to that as well coming up after the break.
It's all your questions today, whether it's from the YouTube. You can send us messages on the Twitter box or the X box. See, that's why that doesn't work. Change it back to Twitter. It's not the Xbox. Can't say my line anymore.
No.
At the Sportsocracy, feel free to send in your questions that way. And we'll answer them over the course of the whole day. You know why? Because it's a Thursday. And I can only tell you so many bangers from Cleveland Browns, Philadelphia Eagles.
It's a Threadbare Thursday here in the Ingles Studio, ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, "I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye, Neti Pot. Hello, Navage." End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose. Healthy life.
It's back to school season at Famous Footwear. After all, Famous Footwear is famous for helping you find the perfect shoes for the whole family, no matter what style you're looking for. Grab the hottest looks like retro joggers from New Balance, cord sneakers from Nike, colorful Crocs, the comfiest Hey Dudes, and more. Bring in the whole family today and let our Famous Footwear team of sizing experts help every kid find the perfect fit. And for a limited time, get up to 30% off Nike, online, and at a local Famous Footwear. Valid on select styles.
The Sportsocracy.
That's the way I feel when my team wins. And if I want to jump up and down when my team wins, and if I want to hug my players when they do good, I'm going to do it.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. You hate my baseball drop so much.
It's always good when it lasts so long that it kicks into the B track of the audio bit. That's audio bit. Tremendous.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Tommy Lasorda, absolute legend. It is a Threadbare Thursday here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
Adam Black pointed out that Taylor Swift turned down the Super Bowl, which is without a doubt the greatest public service she's ever done in her life.
Thank you.
Who should do it not named Creed? Well, I mean, you took away the A number one. I mean, that is the halftime show that we've all been clamoring for decades.
Right.
And after Thanksgiving in Dallas, come on. You tell me you don't want to see the guy hanging over the curtain spinning around? Let's go.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good with that.
It was a banger show.
I mean, I think we're all on the Luke Combs train, right?
No doubt.
Like, Luke Combs will bring the house down.
And I'm not saying this because he and I are friends. I'm not saying this because he and I look alike. That's the right call. Just get on board with it right now.
And you get Tracy Chapman to come out at the end and sing Fast Car with him?
Oh, yeah, that's the right call.
Of course it is. He opens with Ice Cold Beer Never Broke My Heart.
Oh, yeah.
And we just all live our redneck lives.
Let's go.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I didn't slam it. I am a redneck myself at times. I'm a weird man. I go, station to station.
Well, look, you want to hear Jeremy's just the ideal scenario? It's halftime. Super Bowl 2024. Jets are up 31-0 on whoever. Don't care. Don't care what NFC team it is. And Luke Combs just comes out with Ice Cold Beer Never Broke My Heart. It'd be the end.
Yeah.
I would drink every domestic light in whatever room I was in.
It's like a rallying
And there's a great
cry.
chance that it'll be a bar, which means I will not survive it.
See, now this is perfect. See, we have this, and then so many people are hung over the next day from just throwing down with Luke Combs at the halftime show that it
would
finally,
make it a holiday.
Yes, it finally gets the federal government to adopt it as a national holiday, and nobody has to work on the Monday after Super Bowl anymore except for us.
Folks, this is a cause that we can all get behind.
Saying the path is righteous.
Luke Combs does the Super Bowl halftime show. Jets win a Super Bowl. We all get Super Bowl Monday off for the rest of the time. That is... Get on board, breathe it in. Let's go.
Now we were trying to do something good for the populace, and now you wanted to slip your own little thing in there. You already got your nuggets. Back off.
No.
You don't get them all.
I get them all.
You don't get them all.
The summer of Jeremy.
All right, Sam Howell. He was brought up by Rob Johnson, our Commanders fan. Says Sammy Howell has been dropping dimes at practice this week. And I heard yesterday where Ron Rivera was still just mealy-mouthed with the press of, no, I don't know. I mean, we still really like Sam, and we still really like Jacoby, and we'll just see.
No, it's Sam Howell. Sam's the starter, no doubt.
I was going to say, after you already told everyone, that was what came out of Washington at the beginning of the offseason, right? At the end of last year, was Sam Howell is our guy. And now you're 2 weeks away from the start of the season, and you don't want to, tip your cap?
Oh, it's a competitive advantage for you to have to game plan. Jacoby Brissett, stop.
We all know how this is going to go. Anyhow, I mean, or maybe it's maybe Sam's not impressing him as much. I mean, we already know he likes the lesser of players on his team.
I'm impressed by the thought of a Luke Combs Super Bowl and how it could solve many of our problems. And I want to make shirts. Luke Combs Super Bowl halftime show 24. I
mean, it should happen. Hopefully, it will happen.
It will eventually.
I mean,
happen.
after Taylor did what she did. I mean, she did something for us all here too.
100%.
Let's not forget that Taylor said no thank you to the Super Bowl halftime show, and I believe that
it's the first time that a camera could have been on her, and she went, "No, I'm good."
Right. I mean, I don't like her music, and I really don't get what everybody's so excited about. But I honestly believe that maybe we should give her sainthood after this. When she passes on, she immediately becomes.
Oh, I didn't even think
Saint
you could
Taylor.
have. Not only could you have Luke Combs, You'd have the Tracy Chapman appearance,
right?
Ed Sheeran and Morgan Wallen. Let's go.
Ed Sheeran?
Dive. That was an Ed Sheeran song that he redid. And it's phenomenal.
Okay.
And then we could all... You want to know how you unite America? You have Luke Combs do the halftime show, all these wonderful guest appearances, and then at the end of the performance, he holds up 2 Luke Combs beer cans, and we as a country shotgun beers together. Uniter, not a divider.
Okay. How about, I thought this is where you were going to go with that. How about you bring in that Oliver guy? The Oliver guy shows up and does the
Richmond
first song.
over Richmond? Let's go.
Yeah. What's his name? Remind me again. It's not Oliver Purnell.
Oliver Anthony.
It's Oliver Anthony, okay.
Who, by the way, is not my brother. A lot of you have asked me that question. Not all red-bearded gents are related to each other.
Exactly.
Okay? That dude has never seen the sun before, and he sings way better than I do.
Well, of course not. He's a coal miner, right?
Yes.
Isn't that his story?
Yes.
It's a great story. It's a great song, too.
Fantastic story.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Atlanta. We were asked for our prognostications for the Atlanta Falcons.
The biggest thing I can tell you on Atlanta is a lot of people, and it started with Albert Breer, and it has filtered down into a lot of really smart people. Eric Mangini again. Picked them to win the NFC South. The thing I can't get over is how do you have the worst quarterback and you win a division? I don't remember a time ever seeing a team do that. I'm sure it's happened, but I can't think of one.
I was going to say, did your Jets ever do it with Mark Sanchez?
I will fight you right now. We do not speak ill of Mark Sanchez. He took us to 2 AFC championship games.
Butt fumble.
I will punch you right in your jejunum. There's the second word you've said today that we don't say that word around me.
What was the first?
I don't remember. You said it at lunch.
Oh, yeah. I tend to say things.
There were witnesses, so I couldn't punch you in the face like I wanted to.
It's hard to get there, and that's why I have never gotten there. Every time I'm asked for my prognostications for the NFC South, I go, well, it's the Saints or it's the Panthers. I can't get to the Falcons. I get that they made the upgrades on defense, and that's fine, but I think you're still terribly limited offensively, and I don't think that this is a defense.
I don't know.
This is not a defense to me that's going to end up being top 6.
All right, so I'm glad this came up because I've wanted to talk about this for a while, and
okay.
This is the hurdle I can't get over. But I want to sound this out.
Mm-hmm.
Having this much talent at running back, does it force you to stack that box? And you have to see 7-man boxes, and then you get such talent out of Drake London and Kyle Pitts that they're just burning people repeatedly? Is there a merit to that? I heard this explained, and the more I thought about it, the more I went, I've seen mediocre, talented quarterbacks do very good things in this league.
Maybe.
Especially when the receivers are wide open. Kyle Pitts is indefensible. And it certainly helps having Bijan Robinson, because I never felt like Tyler Algier was making you stack the box. That was where I think it got skewed. Is that, he rushed for a lot of yards, but it was because you weren't all that worried about him. You didn't worry about him beating you. I can see how you worry about Bijan Robinson beating you.
And it's possible that taking it to another level will be the difference. But I figure, I mean, that's the way to stop this team, right? I'm gonna stack the box.
Well, if you stack the box, I can't help but think that either Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke can take advantage of one-on-ones with Drake London and Kyle Pitts. You would have to be able to.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, you shouldn't be in this league.
And that's kind of where I'm at, because I don't know that you should.
Oh, you don't think he should be in the league?
I mean, I don't know.
I don't think he's a starter. I understand.
From what I saw last year, I mean, he could be a good 2 or like an ishy 2. and maybe a good 3 on a team.
An issue.
An issue. You know.
That's not a word. You just made up a word.
I did, and I get to do that because name's on the door. But I doubt the talent very seriously, and I just don't think that. Your defense is going to be shut down enough, because I see this team maybe averaging 17 points a game.
I don't know. When you can run the ball like
maybe
that, you're going to score. You're going to
run
score.
The clock a lot.
Yeah, you're going to run the clock a lot, but you're
lot.
going to be able to score. I mean, I could argue they have the 3 best, in terms of your 1, 2, 3, they have the best set of running backs in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty Miller's fine. And Mac Hollins is a giant. The 3 receivers they're going to put on the field, the vast majority of the time, are all mismatches, size-wise. I also just realized that Scotty Miller has stopped going by Scotty.
Is he Scott now?
He is Scott Miller now. Dave.
I mean, Scotty is a little childish, you know. Did he have a child? Is that what happened? Did he have a child and now that's Scotty?
On the official depth chart, he is now Scott Miller.
He's growing up.
When are you going to do that? Your birthday's Sunday. When do we stop going by Tank?
I've been Tank since I was 8 years old, and I'm not stopping now.
Well, I mean, you're soon to be a 41-year-old man, and you're still going by a nickname.
Look.
Oh, and by the way, you're not fat anymore. Like, Tank makes sense when you weigh 4 bills. It doesn't make so much sense when you look like Dave from accounting, which is where you're at right now.
Well, I'm not going by Dave.
Well, it's not your name.
Well, I don't want to go by that name either.
I like how you won't even say it.
Can we have? It makes me feel gross.
Can we have
when I see people, when I see people that knew me back before I was Tank, because it was a process.
That's in the before times,
right? So everybody who knew me before then calls me Robbie, and I don't know. It just kind of like makes my skin crawl. I don't know why.
So should we just come up with a new name for you?
No.
A new big
Tank
boy
is
name?
Fine. I'm fine being Tank. I like Tank. And yeah.
But you're not fat anymore. Like it always bothered me that you went by a nickname anyway. Now you're just not a big man.
Hey, look. I get it.
Chauncey Major said you look like a George or a Fester. Fester. If we're going by nicknames, Fester it is.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate that.
So Festivus for the rest of us.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. I'm not going by Fester. When we return, we'll get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Lower humidity coming in with 50s and 60s in the valley tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night. Feels pretty nice out there, doesn't it? A nice little preview of weather around the corner. But next week, we warm up big time, and so does all of the southeast. Going to feel like the heart of summer Tuesday, Wednesday next week with 90s in play again. 62 in the valley tonight, partly cloudy Friday, high 80 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
DQ presents... That's the sound of someone seeing the DQ $7 meal deal. And that's the sound of someone deciding if they want the original cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken strips with their $7 meal deal. And that's the sound of someone digging into their choice of original cheeseburger or 3-piece chicken strips, plus regular fries, a drink, and a sundae. Sounds pretty good, right? Grab the full-size $7 meal deal only at DQ. puppy tastes good.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and this show has already gotten just a bit outside. I'm getting all kinds of recommendations here for my name.
Rob Spencer is the right call.
Roberto Spenzaro. That's.
I'm sticking with Rob Spencer. Rob Spencer is a guy you can trust with your used car decisions.
Rob. How you doing, Rob? Yeah, see, I did.
You see, you screwed up. You told him your real name.
Of course.
Which is something I will never do.
Yeah, I do like at ESPN Sports Uncle Fester. That's.
I think I don't think it'll
fit.
I think it's to be characters.
No. The Sports Fester sounds like I'm nefarious or something.
100%. That's a guy he has to stay 500 feet away from certain places. You're not allowed. You stay over there.
Yeah. Anyway, not changing my name. Jeremy, you got an outside story?
I do. The ACC has been talking about expansion. Talks haven't really gotten anywhere. Stanford, Cal, SMU, all these things have come up, but now we have new voices in the room trying and making calls to get them to do so. Condoleezza Rice and that guy, George W. Bush, the 43rd president of the United States, is making calls to heavy hitters in the ACC, trying to get them to add SMU. That's where his presidential library is.
Mm-hmm.
So for him, this would be a home run. Condoleezza Rice is one of the most famous alumni of Stanford.
Yes.
And she was a professor there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I can't figure out. How are you selling this? All right, so these are two people that they have a platform with anybody. If they call, you're going to listen.
Mm-hmm.
But how are you selling it? Stanford especially. Like, Condoleezza Rice is one of the most well-spoken people that's ever lived on this planet. What's that case sound like? You should add Stanford. Why? Because it would be awesome.
No, you can't make an argument for it athletically.
No, they don't care at all. I've long said SMU's the one that makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm. This is an image thing. This would be lift our what is it, the AGP or whatever, the grade point average or whatever it is, what is it, the graduation rate of the league. Like, that's the only thing that this
APR.
would help with. There you go, the APR. I knew somebody would find it for me eventually. It's the only thing that's the only case that you can make, because every other part of this is a detriment. Taking on Stanford would be a detriment. It brings no new eyeballs. It doesn't open you up to the West Coast. I don't feel like. Is there any major recruiting win there by having
not with Cal and Stanford? I mean, not with Cal and Stanford.
I mean, as an
Except
LA
with
kid
with the really smart kids,
right?
But be like, hey, we can play in the ACC at Stanford and get just eviscerated every Saturday.
But does that make an LA kid more likely to go to North Carolina because he knows he's going to get to go home twice during a 4-year career?
No. I get it with SMU to a point, because it does open up Texas and it does that time zone thing, and they're just relevant enough, not to move the needle a lot, but by comparison of what else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I can't find an explanation on Stanford.
No,
I don't think the ACC expands. That's just me.
I don't either. I feel like they will push forward with what they have, and if they do open their doors, I would say that it would be to, I don't know, because I want to say like Appalachian would be an opportunity,
kind of money.
But they don't.
They don't make that.
They
kind
wouldn't
of money.
compete.
Appalachian's a great school. It doesn't make ACC level money.
Exactly, but it would be a boost for them. But what's in it for the ACC? Are you just expanding to expand at this point?
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, already you've seen the Big Ten, but the time to do that has passed, I believe, for the power conferences anyway. I mean, I get the the Mountain West and the Pac-12 trying to merge out there, and I get that movement. I don't get any other movement here.
I just think you're complicating the schedule. You're keeping us away from matchups that we would actually want.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the Big 12 now and go, you realize that half of your conference schedule is total, utter garbage.
Adam Black says Liberty and App.
Liberty makes sense. Liberty has the kind of money that you got that Jerry Falwell money. That's a different animal.
But just wait until Appalachian gets that Luke Combs money. All right.
You're not wrong.
Right.
Especially after he unites the nation with his Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah. But if that, I don't know. I feel like App would be the next one to take a big step up.
I don't disagree with you in terms of where they're at on the field. There's so much more that goes into that.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just not interested in the ACC expanding to expand and just bringing in anybody like East Carolina or Memphis no disrespect to those programs. I just don't feel like you're on that level.
Memphis would make sense.
You think so?
I do. That's one I've always said. If you could get them interested, I understand. I just don't know that you're going to.
I've always felt like Memphis thought it was bigger than it actually is.
Oh, it certainly does.
Yeah.
It certainly does.
You know, I worked there for a year, and, you know, I wasn't connected into the program or anything, but I just got that sense that people at the school feel like they're a part of it. And nobody else does, really. I mean, unless you live in that area. Unless you live in the Mid-South. Nobody else recognizes Memphis as a program worth anything. And, I mean, when they had Calipari, maybe.
Jonathan Welch in our YouTube comment said, Adam Gold's been hammering Notre Dame to join the ACC. I'll make a sweeping declaration on that. Somebody asked me this on another show I did last week before. Notre Dame will join a conference within the next presidential term. They have to. You're not getting the kind of money from NBC now that the Big Ten and the SEC have. That was always what kept them away, is that we're one team by ourselves. We're making $30, $40, $50 million.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that $30, $40, $50 million is half what the SEC makes and half what the Big Ten makes, and you couldn't really keep up with them before. What do you think it's going to be now? I don't know that it's the ACC they would join. The Big Ten would take them in a heartbeat. They'd bump out of Rutgers to take Notre Dame, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at the money from the ACC going, that hasn't changed. And it's not going to change for, 13 more years? Notre Dame's not joining that.
Yeah.
They can clamor for you to have Cal and Stanford all you want to. They're not joining with them.
And if they don't, I don't care what they say. I'm just going to leave it at that. Because Notre Dame doesn't matter to me in this scenario if you're not joining.
Notre Dame's the biggest fish out there.
Yep.
The problem is that they have enough money they can really call their shot.
Mm-hmm. They can decide to go join. I don't think that they can remain independent, as you said.
I don't either.
I don't know if it happens within a year, but as all of the boats are
the
moving,
next time we elect a president after this one, Notre Dame will be in a conference.
Yeah.
So 2028. And I think that eliminates the ACC. There's just no way for you to generate the money to get you up there with the big boys. And that's what they want.
Right.
So it's always made more sense for it to be the Big Ten. It continues to make more sense for it to be the Big Ten. I'm just not sure that invite's been extended. And if it ever was, that's where I think you would. At least not in modern times.
Yeah.
It was extended 25 years ago, but that was a different time.
Patrick Holt throws out, what about adding Richmond? See, like, programs like that aren't going to move the needle.
At all.
And once they get there.
If you don't have football at a high level,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and Richmond's a decent FCS school, they're not enough to get the ACC to for all of the things that you would have to do, they don't come with nearly enough money.
Right.
They're in the geographic footprint. That's why I agreed with Liberty. Liberty has the money if that's what they wanted. I just don't think it's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Liberty could have stayed an independent forever, and it would really not have mattered.
Right.
Now, they're never going to be on that top national contender level, but you can be what you've been.
Right. And these are fun stories to follow when programs like this have great seasons in the FCS or have great stints in the FCS. But moving up to Power 5 is a completely different ballgame. I mean, you got to go that's why I keep saying App, because App took the process, right? App goes from the top of the FCS. They came into the FBS. Now they're ruling the Sun Belt year in and year out. They've been ranked in the top 25. To me, that program is more valuable or would be more valuable to the ACC than Syracuse is at this point in football.
Adam Black had a question that I've wanted to touch on this for a while, and we got a couple minutes here. So he said, would a school like Stanford eliminate all non-money-making sports if they went to the ACC? And I'm going to say something that's not going to be popular with some people. There's about to be a true upheaval in non-money-making sports where a lot of them go the club route.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sponsored by the school anymore. So Carolina. So I'll give you a little story on that. One of my closest relatives played rugby at Carolina. They were really good, but I can't say it was no funding, but it was very little from the school. They basically raised their own money.
Right.
That's where a lot of this is going. And what got me thinking about this was Eli Drinkowitz when he lost his mind about the Big Ten expanding. Explain to me how you're going to justify that expense. And NIL did all of this. Every bit of this. Because now you've taken so much money away from the schools because they can go directly to the athlete. So let's just, I'll use one off the top of my head. Gatorade. Gatorade doesn't have to pour the level of money into Texas that they did before because they can go get Arch Manning for a tenth of the price. You're with me forever. You play 3 years at Texas, I can put that money into you. I'm making more off you by yourself than I made off the school. That's how big of an entity he is. So you've taken a lot of these revenue generators where they're going to go directly to the athlete because the athlete's cheaper. And they're not going to do this to the same level in those non-revenue generating sports. This is one of those fallouts of every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Well, this is the one that none of you thought of. You took this money away from the schools and put it in the hand of the athletes. Okay, what do you think they're going to do when you do that? They're going to find the money somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's why football has become such a big deal. Because you got places like UConn that used to treat football like it was an afterthought. Now they're desperately trying to find a conference to find that little bit of extra money to make them even more relevant. They chased a bigger name coach. They got him. They were more competitive. Still not recruiting at the right level, but they believe if we add the money, we will, and we'll make it back. They're not doing that with any other sport, including basketball. So the fallout of that is going to be aggressive. Tried to tell you, and I've been right on this every step of the way, and I'm going to continue.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to say it because, oh, well, that's not fair. Well, life's not fair.
I've been saying this for years, that at some point you're going to have to realize that if it doesn't make money, then maybe it shouldn't exist.
Well, and I won't even go there. It just, you have to go at it at a.
As
people
far as
are not
going
to lose money forever just because it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, this Stanford,
that is kind of the American way. So,
well, the Stanford Cal thing, they've talked about the non-revenue generating sports the whole time.
Well, we
can't sustain it.
Stanford cut 11 sports, I think it was last year.
A lot of schools have done that.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Because they can't afford to sustain it.
Right.
I can't take $1.5 million loss trying to travel across where the conference footprint goes, because now instead of going from Palo Alto to Berkeley to Oregon State, now I'm having to go from Palo Alto to Rutgers and Maryland.
But this is where
it's a significantly more expensive
trip.
But
this is where those sports have to break themselves away from the conferences. It's going to have to break, kind of like hockey. College hockey, not everybody has a hockey program. And so you have I think North Carolina's got one now and NC State's got one. I don't know that there is an ACC hockey league.
No, those are club sports.
But there didn't used to be. But they still compete with other schools, right? They still travel around but they do what they can, right?
To my knowledge, there's no scholarships to that. I think that is a club model, even though it's sanctioned by the school.
Okay.
Now, somebody could correct me on that if I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same model where the school basically they'll give you the facility, and then you kind of have to figure out everything else. All right, you can put our school name on it. You're not really one of our sports, but we'll treat you like you are.
Yep.
You're just not getting money.
Right.
And that's where a lot of those things fall apart. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Survival of the fittest, though.
But this is what happens when lawyers get involved.
Absolutely.
That's a lesson for life. If you get lawyers involved, don't be shocked when things fall apart.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is right at the end of the day, and this is the one thing that the schools don't ever want to talk about and they don't ever want to admit. It's a business. It's unfortunate, maybe, that it's become that big, but it has become that big. And you guys started it.
100%.
You guys started trading.
You wanted to not be student athletes. You wanted to be employees of the school. Awesome. There's fallout of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just be prepared to deal with it when it comes.
Yep. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. When we come back, Jeremy are gonna have his next set of bangers picking postseason awards for the NFL.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingles Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingles Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
High school football season is back this Friday, and we get things started with Owen and Inca in Week 1 of the Buncombe County Game of the Week. Both of these schools are looking for a good start to the season, and it should be a great matchup. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 6:30. On ESPN 1400, the Jonathan Crompton era gets underway as Tuscola host Asheville. The Mountaineer Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 6:30. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
To your left, our new exhibit, Monarchs of Springfield. And right here, we have our
empty tour guide stand.
The last time Bryn hired someone is ancient history.
Sir, excuse me, that's not part of the exhibit.
They need tour guides who know the museum ropes.
Hey, kid, you like wearing khakis? I got a job for you.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Taco Bell, we like to keep mornings simple because before 11 a.m., you're not down for whatever.
No.
You're not interested in trying new things.
No.
You want a breakfast that's toned down and delicious, like the Breakfast Crunch Wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown in a grilled tortilla.
I want to eat that.
See? You may not be a morning person, but it's morning, and you're a person. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m. At participating Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only while supplies last.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
Are you Beer City's best fantasy football player? Your chance to prove it is back. The Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt is back for year 2 with 2 ways to win. Our standard contest and the new Eliminator Challenge for the most hardcore of football fans. Play fantasy football with us every week of the NFL season and compete for a cause with proceeds benefiting Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. Register today at thesportsocracy.com and take your shot at the title of Beer City's fantasy football champion.
Coffee's the closer's only. Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
We started our tour around the NFL yesterday predicting who will win every major award. Take Robert Saleh to win Coach of the Year and don't ask questions. But I'm not a homer. I'm not taking Will McDonald to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. But I will tell you who I am taking. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Will Anderson is plus 400 to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, and that is stupid. He's the only pass rusher on that team. What would make more sense is that you have the best player that was in this draft class that's on an already stacked defensive line and gets to come in and register a lot of stats. Well, we have that guy, and he's plus 700, and his name is Jalen Carter. That's my personal favorite pick. If you wanted to get cute with Will McDonald at plus 2,200, I've seen you do worse things. I'm not doing it, but I would understand if you did. If you want a deep down flyer, Mozzie Smith, plus 4,000. He's been getting rave reviews in Cowboy Camp, and I liked him in the first place. You take how much of a reach some people thought that was and the production I think you'll get from him, and that's a decent flyer to turn $100 into $4,000. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Lower humidity coming in with 50s and 60s in the valley tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night. Feels pretty nice out there, doesn't it? A nice little preview of weather around the corner. But next week, we warm up big time, and so does all of the southeast. Going to feel like the heart of summer Tuesday, Wednesday next week with 90s in play again. 62 in the valley tonight, partly cloudy Friday, high 80 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
The extracurricular activities, the traffic, the nightly homework, the traffic, the finding time to eat dinner together as a family, the traffic. Back to school can be stressful. Thanks to Ziploc, meal prep doesn't have to be. New Ziploc bags with Stay Open design have a patented stand-up bottom that helps keep the bag upright and a top crease that folds and holds for easy filling, unlocking a second set of hands in the kitchen. If only it unlocked a second set of lanes. New Ziploc brand freezer and storage bags with Stay Open design from S.C. Johnson, a family company.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at compareandinsurance.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Take all this, burn it, okay? Gasoline, kerosene, either one. Burn it.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Joe Mixon of the Bengals is found not guilty today on a charge of aggravated menacing after an alleged road rage incident in January. A woman said Mixon pulled a gun on her. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Colts wideout Ashton Dulin will miss the season with a torn ACL. He goes on IR after getting hurt during Wednesday night's practice. If the Browns are hoping to be a playoff contender, quarterback Deshaun Watson needs to be a big part of that. ESPN's Jake Trotter.
They didn't trade 3 first-round picks and pay $230 million fully guaranteed to get 75% of Deshaun Watson in year 2. And 75% of Deshaun Watson, as good as he was in 2020, I mean, where does that rank in the quarterbacks in the AFC?
Jake Trotter. White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson gets his 6-game suspension cut to 5 after that brawl with the Guardians almost 2 weeks ago. Golf, first round at Olympia Fields, second event of the PGA Tour playoffs. Brian Harmon, Matthew Fitzpatrick, and Sahith Theegala share the lead at 4 under par. Fitzpatrick in the clubhouse with a 66.
You don't need special gadgets to be a hero. With unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, everywhere, the Capital One Quicksilver Card makes you the hero of every purchase. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Sportsocracy is heard everywhere around the world on the iHeart Radio app. If you are listening or viewing from somewhere else, shout it out, because I love hearing that. I love it when we have people tuning in, like when Pan comes in from where, Scotland? Denmark?
Poland? I think it's Poland.
Yeah. we had a guy for a long time that would join us from Scotland.
We got one from Sweden. We got a lot of. And the thing I don't understand is I barely speak English, so I'm really not sure if this is not your first language, how you understand anything I say. But we love you for it.
Absolutely. Anyway, we are heard everywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app. You can watch us live on the YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Very important today because it is a Threadbare Thursday. This is what we do during the football season when we've gone through all of the prep already. We've broken down all of the games from the previous week, and then we focus on what you need to do moving forward. Sometimes things slip through the cracks of what you want us to talk about, so we do these so we can cover everybody and make sure everybody gets what they want, because that's why we named ourselves the Democratic Republic of Sports, so that we could cover everything that you want to talk about as well. So Threadbare Thursday, throwing out your suggestions in the comments, your questions in the YouTube comments. Don't forget, sign up for the Battle for the Belt. We got 2 contests this year. Our regular DFS contest that we play each and every week on DraftKings, and then we tally up the scores at the end of the season, and, you know, the winner is the winner. Last year it was Michael Meadows. He'll be back to defend his title this year in the standard contest. But then Jeremy has added the Eliminator Challenge to raise the bar, so you can only play a player 3 times all year long. We'll help you keep track of all of that throughout the season, so you'll know that you've already used Patrick Mahomes twice, so you may not want to use him until a certain point in the season. We'll help you keep track of that. You can get into both contests for a $75 donation. Each singular test is or contest is $50 donation to Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project. We were able to give them a big old check last year.
We want to give a bigger check this year.
Right. And so we want everybody to get in on it. And the links are on the front page of the website, thesportsocracy.com. They're also up on the screen on the YouTube.
And if you want something, odd for your donation, like we record your voicemail message, we'll do that. Why you would want that, I have absolutely no idea. But we're open to ideas. If it makes that check bigger for charity at the end of the year, we're here for it.
Whatever it takes.
Tank will even let you come to the studio and hit him in the nethers with a wiffle ball bat.
No, I won't.
He won't let me do it.
I won't.
He did send me a text earlier that said, "Bring it," and I actually thought I started cracking my knuckles. Like, here we go. He's finally ready.
He's finally ready for it. It is a Threadbare Thursday. Let's go to the YouTube comments here. Divine Comedy says, okay, so is there a point at which Kyle Shanahan actually faces some heat for a truly historic waste of draft capital? He says his core is aging on the team, not his self's core or Leaf self's core. I got one in before you did. The core is aging, and the window is closing.
That's just a bad time to stop paying attention.
The window is closing. When is that seat hot in San Francisco? And my answer to that is I don't know, but I don't know that it's close. I don't know that seat's even kind of warm.
I couldn't disagree with you more.
Really?
I think there is a path. And we've talked a lot about the 49ers here in the last few days. It's because, to me, they're becoming a really interesting team. I don't think they're as good as the rest of you do. But I'm not sure it's Kyle Shanahan as much as it is John Lynch. Bob Browning reached out to me earlier, one of my teachers in school and one of our wonderful listeners here in the Sportsocracy, and was asking about what I had said about Brock Purdy and him being at Iowa State. If everything was equal and they still had the line that they'd had over the course of the last few years, I could think there was a path that Brock Purdy could be propped up. I don't think they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Because John Lynch has been a genuinely horror-awful drafter. Just genuinely terrible. So for me, I don't know so much that it's Shanahan as it would be John Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're all just fine?
No. I mean, I'm not saying this is just, snap your fingers and everything's going to be great. I've reached that point that I think San Francisco's at with Kyle Shanahan, where you just believe the system is going to work.
But why?
Now, you punted.
But why are you there?
Because they just win.
Because they went to two conference championship games.
When they were healthy, they just won. Brock Purdy was healthy for 8 games last year, and he went 8-0 or whatever. And I mean, if that's good enough for the coach, then I guess it's got to be good enough for me, right?
I guess I'm just sitting here looking at Kyle Shanahan going, yeah, you're 6-3 in 6 years as a coach. You've gone 6-10, 4-12, 6-10, 13-3, 10-7, 13-4. 2 of those years are really good.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is good to very kind of good.
Okay.
I mean, 10-7 is good, but it's nothing to write home about.
Right.
I've seen coaches get fired at 10-7. The other 3, you were a combined 16-32.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we just treat him like he's this genius? I mean, he's been to 2 NFC championship games in a row. I got that.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC's not very good.
But it has been, right? I mean, it's only in the last couple of years.
It's much worse right now than it has been. But in all reality, you had Rodgers and the Packers for a lot of years where I felt like he propped up a roster that was not necessarily Super Bowl good, but they were always there.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle wasn't great. They're much better now than they have been.
Right.
The Rams were really good.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals were good for a minute.
The Bucks were good for 2 years.
Yeah, that was fun. Sold your soul for that one, didn't you?
I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
San
Francisco would too. Ask them.
I'm just looking at who San Francisco's drafted over the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a hit?
I mean,
I can be
over
honest,
the last 3 years,
I can't find a player that I like outside of Drake Jackson.
And Talanoa
Hufanga. Yeah, I had a feeling you were going to say
because that's the one. That's the one you look at and they go, they got him in the 5th round, and he was a damn Pro Bowler this last year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Javon Kinlaw, Trey Lance, Aaron Banks, Tyrion Davis-Price. He's still on that roster, right? He used a 3rd-round pick on him.
Yes. He is still on that roster.
You draft that poorly, you're going to regress eventually. I mean, yeah, there was a time that you drafted Fred Warner in the 3rd round and DJ Reed in the 5th. Those were great times. DJ Reed plays for the Jets now. Mike McGlinchey plays for the Denver Broncos now. And you just get to a point where I'm telling you, by the time we get to the season, there will probably be no team I'm heavier on
the
short selling
than
the 49ers.
Okay. And I guess you can do that at your own will.
I just don't understand why we treat Kyle Shanahan gets treated like he's Andy Reid. Because, yeah, he does some creative things. You've never actually won anything. All right, you've been in the Super Bowl twice, once as a coordinator and once as a coach, and you lost both times.
Yeah. And how is that different from Andy Reid, who had to wait till he got two? He had to wait till he got a Patrick Mahomes to get one.
Did we view Andy Reid this way until he won a Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, weird. He became really. But how much capital do you have to sink into quarterback before we stop calling you a quarterback guru? That's how he's referred to. He's a quarterback guru, and he gets the most. Does he?
See,
Is it just because it's Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard?
See, I think
he took a raw prospect in Trey Lance that had all the tools you could ever want. In 2 years, they have so little confidence in him that they are praying Sam Darnold beats him out. They have so little confidence in him that they're looking at Brock Purdy, whose ceiling is a tiny house, going, yeah, that's our guy. A no-doubt starter right there. Okay. Well, you made the Miami Dolphins a juggernaut off that trade.
Yes. They went out and got Tyreek Hill with it. They went out and got Chubb with it.
Jalen Waddle. Yeah, that's 3 stars.
Yeah.
What'd you get out of it? A big old grumper sitting on your front steps in a paper bag on fire.
It was a swing and a miss. There's no disagreeing with that.
A Divine Comedy has a perfect comment here. Kyle Shanahan's 3rd best coach in his own division, and he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong. But I give him the same kind of tip of the cap that I would give to Sean McVay, that I would give to Pete Carroll.
Both those guys have won Super Bowls. He has not.
Yet. He hasn't yet. And you don't know what the future holds.
No.
I would have said years ago that Andy Reid was going to be the guy that never won a Super Bowl, but was going to be a really great coach that everybody just, he never won the big one.
And
that's where Kyle's at right now.
And I don't think it's that untoward to say that Kyle Shanahan can be the same thing.
Because
here's the thing. Notice, just look at Kyle Shanahan's career trajectory. All right, he was in Washington, then he was in Atlanta, now he's in San Francisco.
Yep.
I'm not saying he had personnel control over any of these teams. You know what all 3 of them have in common? They couldn't draft to save their lives. 3 of genuinely the worst drafting teams in the league. He's been involved with all 3 of them. He's the only common thread between the 3. So, yeah, sorry, I don't think it's that untoward to say maybe you're all being sold snake oil here on Kyle Shanahan.
Maybe so.
If his last name was different, would that change anything? If he wasn't Mike Shanahan's kid.
I'm going to say for me personally, no. Because, I mean, Mike was great. You know, I talked about Mike this morning. That somehow, yet again, he is not being put up for the Hall of Fame. And that is just a bridge too far.
It's really hard for coaches to get in.
Yeah, I know. But they did a committee. The committee met, and they had like 11 people that were being considered, 12 people that were being considered, and they came up with Buddy Baker from the 1950s with the Detroit Lions as their only guy to push forward for the committee this year to vote on. And you had Robert Kraft and Tom Coughlin and
Mike
Shanahan were among that group. There were also others like Marty Schottenheimer that I was like, at some point he needs to have his day, right? He needs to be able to. We need to vote on him. But anyway, For me, the last name doesn't matter.
I always thought he got some advantages being Mike Shanahan's kid.
Sure he did.
That's how he got to where he got as quick as he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he really hasn't done anything. I mean, look how talented that roster is. All right, so he's gone to 2 conference championships in a row. What was his impediment? Who was the third best team in the NFC last year? Dallas? Minnesota? Oh, great. You're the second best team in the Dogwater Conference. Awesome. Yeah, Chris Peterson called. Thanks for carrying on the tradition.
And that's a very negative way to look at the San Francisco 49ers. And I try to look at the bright side of things most of the time, unless I'm talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. But
where did Mark Davis hurt you?
See, now I just do it just to get the rise out of people because that's what I do.
Notorious B.I.G. Kyle Shanahan beats up on terrible coaches and loses to good ones.
Sure.
I heard zero lie there.
I hear the criticism. I'm taking it in. I understand. But I still feel like this is a very talented team. The offensive line's got holes. Sure. It's a concern because you're living on the edge with this quarterback. Look, Andy Reid got Patrick Mahomes, finally wins a Super Bowl, right? Now, he took his swing. And I don't even think it was his swing, right?
Mahomes?
No. Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch took the swing on the home run quarterback they thought they could have.
Well, it depends on who you listen to with that, because there was a very prevailing rumor when they went up to 3 that they didn't actually know who they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They really wanted Zach Wilson, but obviously the Jets took him at 2, so they traded up there. The only one they didn't want was Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
So allegedly one of them really wanted Mac Jones.
Which was Kyle.
Allegedly. I've heard this told both ways.
Okay.
So,
I think I have too. That's why I'm trying to sort it out.
Well, I've always struggled to believe that Mac Jones is what Kyle Shanahan would be after. That never made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
John Lynch is a defensive guy. I get why you would want a guy that just doesn't turn the ball over very much. That's one of those. I mean, I'd believe it either way. I've heard it more one way than the other.
Right.
But you took the shot. You're the coach. You can't tell me they did that and just went, Kyle, you'll like it or we'll find somebody else. I don't buy that.
Mm-hmm.
He was on board with this. They turned in a card that he had approved one way or the other, and you broke this kid in 2 years to the point of you gave up all that draft capital, and now you have a player that teams won't give you a third-round pick for.
But did you break him?
You're the head coach.
Or was he never that?
You're the head coach.
Was he just never that kind of prospect?
He had the talent to be that kind of prospect. You're the coach. It falls on you, period.
I hated the move when they did it.
I did too.
And I didn't like.
I said it could be the greatest thing that ever happened because a player that dynamic in that offense could be special.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could have just set your championship window on fire because he never turns into that guy.
Yeah.
And he's not that guy.
No, he's not that guy. He's never shown that he's going to be that guy. And he's never going to get the chance to show he's that guy. In a San Francisco 49ers uniform anyway.
Stephen Tao had a really good point, too, of do you realize who the 11 picks directly after that were?
They were all pros.
Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Penei Sewell, J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain, Devontae Smith, Justin Fields, Micah Parsons, Rashawn Slater, Elijah Vera Tucker.
Yep.
There's not a loser in that whole bunch.
Mm-mm. It obviously looks bad. But as long as this team's still competitive, I don't know that you ever feel the brunt of that.
This is a 20. Now that I'm just looking at this all together, 21 is one of those drafts we look at and go, you either picked in the top 14, or you picked a guy that wasn't necessarily as good as you thought he would be. Because there's a lot of Zaven Collins, Alex Leatherwood, Jamin Davis, Caleb Farley. Good. That is Joe Tryon Shoyinka.
Yeah.
Oh, I tried to tell you about that one. You would not listen.
Jury's still out.
No. I mean, they might still be out, but they're waiting for lunch to show up so they can come back and tell you, he sucks.
That's not fair.
Life's not fair.
That's not fair.
Fair shows up your town one time a year. It's got funnel cakes and Ferris wheels.
We'll see. Year 3 leap. It's coming.
Yeah,
Just wait.
Right into
We're going to be able to get after some quarterbacks this year.
Right into a puddle.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Trey Lance. Oh, yeah.
Cal Shanahan.
Andreas Pinckney says Trey Lance should have stayed in college. He was not ready, and I never believed the hype. I didn't either. The dude made 5 starts in 3 years, and we were supposed to be like, oh, okay, yeah, he could just make the leap to the NFL.
Well, I mean, look, the raw talent was there.
The talent showed on
he
tape.
Also is, I mean, and I think there's a comparison here between Trey Lance and Deshaun Watson. You miss that much time, there's a possibility you never get back to where you were. I think that's what you've been trying to say about Deshaun Watson. I don't buy it at all. Because I think once you got it, you got it. But until the physical limitations take it away from you.
Right.
Trey Lance never necessarily had it. He had the raw tools to find it, but he never had it. And they have just destroyed him.
Yeah. It hadn't been good, but as long as this team stays competitive, I don't know that they ever pay for that mistake. If this
they'll
team
pay for that mistake. Can the San Francisco 49ers win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years, yes or no?
I'm gonna say probably not.
That's where I'm at.
But I'm not ready to say absolutely not. I mean, they get 1-2 really good offensive linemen to fill these holes, and then they could just be the juggernaut that comes back in next year.
Yeah, you still got that quarterback.
Yeah.
A little limited himself.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
Oh, I can't wait.
8-0 as a starter.
I can't wait for him to come out in the first 4 weeks and just be a big disaster.
And he very
and
well
I
may.
like the kid. I have nothing against Brock
It doesn't
Purdy.
sound like it.
I
It
have
sounds like you're
nothing against
rooting
it.
for this kid to be bad.
No, it's facts don't care about your feelings. And my eyes tell me one thing, and all the rest of you are telling me something else.
Okay.
Then he comes to camp, and the first 4 days he throws on pads, he throws 10 interceptions. Yep, that feels like it's.
That was in a day?
That was in 4 days.
Oh, in 4 days.
Yeah. First 4 days he's been in camp, he's thrown 10 interceptions. And been significantly outplayed by Sam Darnold.
It's in the realm of possibilities. But you know what? I still think this is a good team. I still think they'll figure it out. If Brock's not the answer, then maybe Sam plays well. Now, if Sam's not, because that's the thing, you're on strike 3 here, right? Now, this goes completely off the rails. You have injury issues once again with this team, and the quarterbacks all suck. Then that might be a possibility.
That's the Disney story that could happen this year. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, the crowned future franchise of the San Francisco 49ers, comes out and lays a grumper 4 weeks into the season. Sam Darnold takes the reins and leads the San Francisco 49ers to the Super Bowl and his former team, the New York Jets, where they get beat 57-2.
No, 31-21.
Jets, Jets.
31-21. It's already been called.
You know what? That witch doctor that the Jets brought in said it. I'm fine with it. 31-21. JTS.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Heavy traffic volume, 26 westbound between Hendersonville Road and Airport Road. 26 on the eastbound side slow between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road is slow. Haywood County 40 eastbound crawling between exit 27 and NC 215. Merriman Avenue northbound very busy between W.T. Weaver Boulevard and Beaver Dam Road. Hendersonville Road problem-free. Sweeten Creek Road no backups. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're a Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
At Taco Bell, we like to keep mornings simple because before 11 a.m., you're not down for whatever.
No.
You're not interested in trying new things.
No.
You want a breakfast that's toned down and delicious, like the Breakfast Crunch Wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown and a grilled tortilla.
I want to eat that.
See? You may not be a morning person, but it's morning, and you're a person. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m. At participating Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only while supplies last.
High school football season is back this Friday, and we get things started with Owen and Inca in Week 1 of the Buncombe County Game of the Week. Both of these schools are looking for a good start to the season, and it should be a great matchup. The Bojangles Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 6:30. On ESPN 1400, the Jonathan Crompton era gets underway as Tuscola host Asheville. The Mountaineer Countdown to Kickoff show starts at 6:30. The best high school football coverage is on News Radio 570, WWNC, and ESPN Asheville.
At Ingles, we're proud to sponsor area athletics at all levels. Whether we're building new fields for T-ball, celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. We're here for the fans. No one gets the dedication to the home team like you guys. And we've got all the sports you can handle. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's a Threadbare Thursday. You want to get in on the show here. You want to throw out a topic. You want a question answered. Throw it out in the YouTube comments. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel because that's how you get into the chat. And Tim Raymond says he wants to know why there are so many fights in joint practices, more than usual.
To me, that's a really easy answer.
Okay.
You're not doing cuts. Usually you would have cuts over the series of the preseason. You cut 15 guys down, then you cut a few more, then you cut down to 53 at the final cut down.
Right.
We're not cutting anybody. We're carrying 90 guys in here. So you got 3 full teams. A lot of guys that are sticking around way longer than you expect them to, or than they're used to, and they're fighting for a roster spot.
Right.
It's hot. It's chippy. Some of these guys know that their roster spot is solidified. Some of these guys are trying to make a play, which means they're pushing it right up to the whistle. I mean, Micah Parsons hit a teammate directly in the head with his bare fist earlier today. Or that might have been yesterday. I'm not sure which one. By the way, stop punching helmets.
Right.
It's really stupid.
Michael Clemens losing his mind on a teammate during the Jets practice. We saw that on Hard Knocks. We saw fights, so many fights break out between the Jets and the Bucs that they had to cancel practice today. We've seen the Washington Commanders and the Baltimore Ravens go at it. Emmanuel Forbes, apparently, from what I gathered from the situation, it was chippy between both teams, but the Ravens were really keying on the rookie. Right, they're keying on the young guy. I guess his second year.
Emmanuel Forbes.
He's a rookie. Yeah. So they're really keying on him and picking on him and getting, and trying to get away with stuff. And Emmanuel Forbes, as I read it, standing up for himself, just not taking it. And punches are thrown, and it was at least twice that Emmanuel and some wide receiver from the Baltimore Ravens got into it yesterday. Tim mentioned the heat. Yeah, we know, it's been triple-digit heat all across the country.
Hot.
And guys are, they're out there, they're hot, they're sweating, they're jawing at each other.
You're also doing more joint practices now than we used to.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jets had 2 sets. I don't remember that happening a ton of times outside of the last handful of years.
Right.
So, you've been hitting the same guys. That's why you fight in practice. You're sleeping around these guys. You see them all the time, and you get tired of hitting each other. And eventually somebody smarts off, and here we go.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, you're keeping around a lot. And I don't love this, just to be clear. I don't love that we're not cutting down guys. I know why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But
health and safety.
Say it again?
That's a health and safety.
I think that's only part of it. It's hard. It's much easier at 90 players than it is at 75 to completely put somebody like Justin Herbert in mothballs.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder to do at 75.
Exactly.
And a lot of these teams are really pushing for that, where the preseason is really just about the young guys. So it's really more of a change in – it's more of a change in philosophy and a change in practice. Adam Black asked, is it more than normal or is it just being talked about more? It's definitely more. I agree with Chauncey Major. It's definitely happening more,
mm-hmm.
and it's being talked about more.
Right.
So
you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back for the break, it'll be time to get weird, and we'll continue with your suggested topics on this Threadbare Thursday here in the Sportsocracy. I guess next up, Rookie of the Year will be our next topic. We'll be right back.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Lower humidity coming in with 50s and 60s in the valley tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday night. Feels pretty nice out there, doesn't it? A nice little preview of weather around the corner. But next week, we warm up big time, and so does all of the southeast. Going to feel like the heart of summer Tuesday, Wednesday next week with 90s in play again. 62 in the valley tonight, partly cloudy Friday, high 80 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 26 westbound on the Naples area, approaching Hendersonville Road. 26 westbound again, light delays between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound is slow between Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road is slow. 40 eastbound crawling between exit 27 and NC 215. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue northbound near Edgewood Road, traffic is slowing. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparianInsurance.com.
Hi, we're a Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparianInsurance.com.
This is my Carolina Panthers bobblehead, my 04 NFC Championship jersey, and my Panthers scratch-off from the North Carolina Education Lottery.
Whoa, you could win $200,000 and even 4 season tickets to the Panthers Vault? Why haven't you scratched it?
It's in mint condition.
New Panthers Scratch-Offs. Enter to win season tickets to the Vault, a field-level premium seating experience. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.23. Carolina Panthers is a registered trademark of Panthers Football, LLC. Problem Gambling Helpline 877-718-5543.
At Taco Bell, we like to keep mornings simple because before 11 a.m., you're not down for whatever.
No.
You're not interested in trying new things.
No.
You want a breakfast that's toned down and delicious, like the Breakfast Crunch Wrap with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown and a grilled tortilla.
I want to eat that.
See? You may not be a morning person, but it's morning, and you're a person. Taco Bell breakfast, served until 11 a.m. At participating Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only while supplies last.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Just want to take this moment to remind you all to get signed up for the Battle for the Belt. That's right. I'm doing a promo since I forgot to hit the right music there.
Yeah.
Battle for the Belt, 2 contests this year, same great charity. Eblen Charities St. Nicholas Project gets the proceeds from the contest, as we've got the usual standard DFS competition that we do each and every week, and now Jeremy's added the Eliminator Challenge. Again, sign up at the website, thesportsocracy.com, or you can follow the links in the description of the YouTube video.
We'll have all of the rules up in a very consumable way over the weekend. I've had a couple people ask, can we see the settings? Settings are standard DraftKings settings, so it's under $50,000 salary cap, the same way that always goes. And then we'll have all of the little intricacies up over the weekend.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, now it's time to get weird, and let's go to the West Coast because, yeah, you know, they do the weirdest things out on the left coast. But there's a new law in Oregon that caught my eye, where the new law that was just recently passed will allow health facilities to return the amputated body parts of patients.
Return them to what?
Return them to you. So say you have to get your arm cut off or your leg cut off for some reason, I can return that to you if you would like. See, the law had prevented me from doing so before now. But
nope,
now
I think you can have that.
I can now you lose a foot, I could just